tiresome, repetitive. These were words that described Mondays. Everyone felt that way, right? Actually, at the moment, Gakushu's mood differed. Usually, he'd feel neutral, but not today. Something unfortunate had happened to the car of his main chauffeur. A calico cat had gotten stuck in the engine and refused to leave. This ended up with Gakushu having to walk to school. He was offered to take a different car, but he opted not to. While he did have his color vision, he still enjoyed walks on a good day. With a little bit of persuasion, his chauffeur was sworn to secrecy and had no need to tell his father about anything. A spring breeze blew through his locks of strawberry blonde. His face displayed neutrality, but on the inside he was just a bit happier than usual. The sun seemed to be shining a little brighter today. At some point, he stumbled upon a crossroad and had to wait until the crosswalk light changed. Initially, he ignored the ringing of a nearby bike. Annoyed, he turned his head and glanced in the direction of the violent jingling of a bell. From across the street, Wyan had been maniacally ringing her bell to get his attention. Nearby walkers gave her a quick glance but proceeded to ignore her as they went along with their day. She had come up from the east lane, while Gakushu came from the south. When did he start walking to school? More importantly, when did he start going this way? Once it was okay to cross, she pedaled over to Gakushu's street. "Are you sure you're not stalking me?" Wyan scowled. "Yes, I assure you. Your life does not seem intriguing enough," he clarified with a semi-joking tone. "Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you do stalk people if you find them interesting," she asked with a voice laced with a snark. "No," he replied curtly and began to continue to walk to school. His content morning became a slightly irritable day. Well, at least that's what he thought. Wyan puffed out her cheeks and swung her leg to her side, unmounting her bike. She pulled it alongside her as she caught up with Gakushu, who was only a few steps ahead of her. "I've never seen you walk by this area," she pointed out, directly observing him as they walked. "A cat happened to find its way in the engine today," he explained. "It's a nice day today, so I did not mind walking." "What?" Wyan scowled. "Is the cat okay?" "Of course," he reassured. "It wasn't stuck, per se. It just did not want to leave." "Ah." An awkward silence filled the air between them. Wyan was debating on several different conversation topics. She thought about bringing up the last time she had seen him, which was at her grandmother's house. She figured that she shouldn't bring that up, considering that it was mildly embarrassing for her that he even showed up. She decided to just suppress the memory within her databanks and never look back at it again. "I could easily drive by him, but wouldn't that even be more awkward? Why did I have to decide to pause for him? God, it's too early in the morning for this." "So?" she started, eyes looking the other way. "So?" Gakushu quirked an eyebrow. "How was your weekend?" she asked, trying to fill the quiet void. "How was my weekend?" he repeated for clarification, slightly surprised that she would even ask him that question. "Yes, how was your weekend?" she stated. "There's no one else here, is there?" "It was fine," he pondered. "You sound unsure," she pouted. "I just didn't expect you to ask me such a question," he hummed in response. "Though, I do appreciate the effort." "It's not effort, but okay, I guess," she inwardly shrugged. "And you?" he chirped. "Huh? Me?" "Yes, you." He looked over to her. "What about me?" she deadpanned. His eyebrows lowered, showing exasperation. "How was your weekend?" "Oh, She thought for a moment. It wasn't too bad, I think. I did homework. She trailed off. I asked how your weekend was, not what you did. He pointed out with a scowl. But you sound suspicious. Whatever do you mean, Kunikigaga High School Student Council President Asano? She blinked innocently, with a voice lined with sarcasm. Please never call me that again. Gakushu clicked his tongue. President is enough. Okay, how about President Asano? Absolutely not. Wyan snickered at his quick response, causing his scowl to deepen. Let me guess. All you did was study, right? She inquired with a coy smile. Actually, no, I did not. He clarified. My life isn't 100% school and academics. You sure do act like it, she mumbled. I did spend a portion of my weekend looking after your cousin. After all, your aunt had a meeting with my father. Wyan laughed with a bit of a snark, earning an annoyed look from him. I mean, how did that go? She asked. Gakushu tilted his head upward as he thought back to his Saturday. Gakushu could have been spending his Saturday completely different. Himiko zoned out for the majority of the conversation of her mother, Gakushu, and Gakuho had in front of her. Occasionally, they'd ask her a question about something. She'd respond accordingly, but that was about it. She had no interest in their conversation that included two old people reminiscing about a plan of their old friend group had more than 20 years ago. Fortunately for her, she was able to successfully excuse herself by asking about the nearby mall. Unfortunately for her, Gakushu had to accompany her. Gakushu resisted letting out a sigh as he followed the older Ellen daughter. Himiko was currently wandering the mall, taking note of what things did and didn't change since the last she had been there. You don't have to stick around me, you know. Himiko hummed. It's obvious you don't want to be here. To be frank, I don't. Gakushu bluntly admitted. I don't really want you here either, to be honest. She replied, I don't really like you. Does that run in the family? Gakushu inwardly irked. And it's not because you're my loser cousin's soulmate, she clarified, but then said under her breath, well, actually that might be a contributing factor, but I digress. Loser cousin? Gakushu raised an eyebrow. It's just so painfully obvious that you're only doing this to get on me and my mother's good side. Himiko shrugged. And honestly, I hate that, so do feel free to leave. She waved him off and began to walk away. Gakushu let out a sigh. I suppose perceptiveness runs in the family as well. As much as he did want to leave, Himiko was his responsibility at the moment. He quickened his steps and trailed after her. She had paused at a pet store with animals on display in the window. They haven't gotten rid of this place, she whispered with a nostalgic expression. It must get good business, considering the placement of the store, Gakushu pointed out. It's near the food court, so people might shop here right after eating. Himiko watched as a trio of caged birds chirped on the other side of the window. This takes me back. Aunt Emin used to take Wyan and I here a lot. Himiko reminisced. I wonder if they still sell jellyfish. Is there a particular reason for jellyfish? He inquired. I just think they're pretty. She smiled softly, looking back at the store. Himiko's shoulders slumped as her phone vibrated in her pocket. A melancholy look decorated her face. Gakushu spoke up. I don't mean to intrude, but your phone goes off quite frequently. You must be very important to someone if they're trying to get in contact with you so much. He watched as she took out her phone, only to turn off the vibration setting. I wish that were the case, she muttered under her breath. Before Gakushu could question what she said, she whipped to the side and took long strides away from the store. Gakushu, once again, followed after her. Hi everyone, I'm so sorry for this being really freaking short, but I have work at 3 and I haven't even started doing my makeup yet, and it's 12:17, so I have to do my makeup and then do my lunch, and then I know it sounds weird because 12 is lunch, but yeah, for me, okay, it's gonna be probably around 7 or 5. Anyways, yeah, so I have to do my makeup, make my lunch, feed my cat, and I also have to drive there. Like, it's not too long of a drive, but I should leave like kind of an hour, almost an hour early, because I do start at 3, and 3 is like 2, 3, 4 is like all traffic. So yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for listening. I'm going to try to post the rest of it tomorrow, along with maybe another karma one, but yeah, stay tuned. Thank you for listening. I love you all. Have an amazing morning, have an amazing afternoon, have an amazing evening whenever you're listening to this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone. I love you.